from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, coming to you live on Monday, the 23rd of February. Lovely to see you. I've already got people jumping on. I've got a couple of minutes until I'm actually supposed to be live. So I am here a little bit early. So we've got Christine, Daryl, Margaret. Lovely to see you. So I'm actually going to do a sketch challenge again for this week, and I'm going to draw the winner from last week's challenge. So keep until the end, because at the end is where I will announce the winner, and I've got an awesome prize for the winner at the end of this video. So welcome. Please, when you get the notification that I've gone live, jump on and say hello. And I know I'm at an early time and you're probably thinking, what is she doing going live at this time? But get used to it, people, because it's probably the time that I'm going to be able to go live for a while now. So, and I will tell you a little bit more about that when more people jump on. Hey, Zana, lovely to see you. So welcome. So if you didn't join the challenge last week, you've missed out because I'm about to draw it. So I pop up a weekly challenge on my Facebook page, over on my business Facebook page. So that's where you need to find it. And we're doing a card challenge, a sketch challenge every week. So, hey, Deb, lovely to see you. And Margaret's saying that she's loving doing the challenges. So Margaret did the challenge. I think Linda's on here. She did the challenge as well. Christine did the challenge. So I'm telling you, it actually makes you get in and craft. So the challenges are great, and don't be shy. Like, physically just get out there and go for it, because it doesn't matter what level of crafter you're at. It's all about crafting. It's all about being able to look at a challenge and jump on and go for it. So, hey, Rose, lovely to see you. Welcome. So I have some news that I need to tell you, and hopefully I'm going to hold it together to get through it when we get going with this video. But I want to wait until I've got like most of the people on before I start talking about the changes that are happening with my Stampin' Up. So hey, Nancy, lovely to see you. You forgot about the sketch challenge, Daryl. Well, you know, that's just like not good enough, but make sure you get in for this one, because I've already got the sketch challenge printed up. So this is what we're actually doing today. And so what I do is I go live today with the sketch challenge. I show everyone the sketch, and then I know, Margaret, the cards were beautiful. And we not only challenge ourselves, we also get inspiration from what other people do, because everyone uses different products. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to use the product that I'm using. You can physically use whatever product you have on hand, and you will find that most of my challenges will have flowers in them. If they haven't got flowers in them, they'll probably have leaves in them. So so you'll find that everybody should have a flower stamp and die set, or everybody should have like leaves and dies. So hey, Jeanette, lovely to see you. Kathy, lovely to see you. We are going to get into the sketch challenge, and I can see I've got quite a few of you on now. So I just want to give you, I know you've all probably read the title of this YouTube video, and you're all probably thinking, what is going on with Donna, and why has she put a title? And I was to and froing whether I was actually going to have this conversation and whether I was actually going to put it out there. But, you know, I thought sometimes we, and I'm going to try and hold it together, sometimes we struggle behind the scenes. And you all know this is my full-time job, and things have been just a little quiet and a little bit hard. And for a lot of people that are doing Stampin' Up as a business, they may be in, sorry, I'm trying to hold it together. They may be in a relationship that they have another income coming in. And unfortunately, I'm not in that situation. So this is my full-time job. And of course, with the current state of affairs, with a lot of people and their spending, sorry, I didn't think it was going to be this bad. a lot of people are watching their spending, curving their spending, and what is one of the first things that they say that they can give up to save themselves a bit of money? And sometimes it's actually their hobby, which I think is sad, because you all know how much I love Stampin' Up and how much I have loved doing craft as my full-time job. But unfortunately, the last 6 months or so has been pretty tough. And I actually had to come to the realization over Christmas that I needed to do something. And so I was actually doing an Etsy store, which I'm still doing my Etsy store. So if you ever want to buy any Etsy great crafting shirts and everything, that would really help me out. That's all right, Lisa. Anyway, so today is the first day of me going back to work and working for someone. It's only part-time, so I will be able to still do some crafting with you. So I'm trying to do both. I don't want to give away this world, because it is physically, it has been my world, and it has helped me through many, many things in my life. Especially in the last 6 years or so, because I've had a pretty tough time in the last 6 years. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and be open and honest with you, and that is why I've been missing in action. You all may have thought, she used to do videos every week, like 5 days a week. I just don't have the time, because I've been trying to put things together behind the scenes to try and make money elsewhere. And when you've got a home loan over your head, unfortunately, if the money is not coming in, then you need to do something. And so I had to look outside of what I was doing and see what I could do. And so I'm actually starting a new job today, and I'm so stinking nervous about it, because I haven't worked for someone since I was 21 years of age. I'm now 56 years of age, and I have not worked for someone. I've been self-employed that whole entire time. And so for me, it's such a big change. It's such a, I won't have an issue answering to someone and doing what I'm told. I'm a rules person. I love sticking to the rules, and I love doing everything that I'm supposed to do. When someone tells me, if they tell me to do something, I do it, because they're the one paying the wages. So unfortunately, I've had to go out and get a part-time job. So I will be working afternoons, which means that I need to be leaving, because I've got to actually drive 40 minutes to the job and 40 minutes home every day. So I will actually have to be leaving around sort of 11:30 a.m. each day. So I will have the morning to be able to do things, and I'm really buckling down this week, because I've got my retreat this weekend and I need to get sorted for that. So I will still be holding my classes that I do. I will still be doing all of my monthly Scrap It With Me workshop kits, my monthly creative card club. I will just be scheduling my time a little bit better and making sure I can do everything to keep things together and keep things going with my Stampin' Up business, because you all know it means the world to me. So the world is not a place that at the moment there's so many people that are struggling. And it wasn't until I actually watched a video of another person that I follow on YouTube. It was nothing to do with Stampin' Up. It was to do with my Etsy business. And she's a lovely person, and she actually put a video out there being honest and truthful. And I think sometimes we need to do that. I think sometimes we just need to show people that we are vulnerable and that we are struggling. And this is not a pity video. It really isn't. Like, it's just to let you know. You all followed me for so many years. I've been with Stampin' Up. I think it will be 10 years this year that I've been with Stampin' Up. And I have said to everyone that I was the luckiest person in the world to do crafting as my full-time job, because I felt like I didn't work. And it is so super true about that. So, of course, because I live on my own, I'm now divorced. I mean, Stampin' Up helped me through my divorce, through my marriage breakup, and through me being able to relocate into another area where I didn't know anyone. And I've met some beautiful people even here where I've moved to. So nearly 4 years ago, I moved to Queensland and moved to Beaudesert and started a new life. And I can tell you, crafting is what held me together. And so, I'm just here to be honest and open and to say that I will still be sticking around. There's no way that I want to give up my Stampin' Up, because I definitely, the one good part about it is that having an income coming in and a paid income. So the issue being self-employed, which I've had the issue for 35 years, being self-employed, it's a guessing game what you're going to get paid each week, and in this case with Stampin' Up, it's monthly. And so whatever I earn throughout the month, I have to wait until nearly 2 weeks into the following month to get paid. So unfortunately, if that income is down and you don't have any spare cash, then it makes it awfully tough. So so that's actually why I have decided to go out and get some employment. So hopefully that will give me some more money to spend on my crafting products, and to stay around. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm in it for the long haul. So for all of my team members, I'm in it for you guys. You mean the world to me. And I'm definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. So so it will just be that you will see less of me. So if you see less of me, just make the best of it when you see me, because I will try and do my regular videos. Because I have the mornings off, I will try and do my regular videos. If it turns out that I end up with full-time employment, then I maybe will have to shift to doing videos of a night or something. But I'm definitely not going anywhere. All right, so let's get to crafting. So I just wanted to let you know that, and thank you for the support. And if anyone wants to support me in any way, jump online and do an online order with me. That will help out immensely. So and as I said, this is not a ploy for trying to drum up business or anything. I just wanted to be open and honest with you all. All right, so let's pull it together. Let's pull it together, and let's get into this sketch challenge. So what we've been doing each week is I have been pulling up a sketch challenge, and I've been doing this through ChatGPT. So I've actually said to people, if you are someone that has been struggling with creativity and struggling with how you're going to do your design, then ChatGPT is great. You can put in that you wanted to have a black and white sketch challenge, and it will do up a card sketch challenge. If you don't like the challenge, if you don't like the card that it does, just say, can you create another one, and make it totally different to the one that you've just done, and it will come up with something different, which is what I did this morning. So this can keep you crafting for so long. So I'm trying to give people ways of being able to come up with that design, and be able to recreate it. And so showing you from this sketch design, showing you how I put it together, then it definitely will help you with your creativity. Thank you everyone for your kind words. I put on my, I just have to show you this. I put on my my Wild Heart Crafters shirt today. So this is my team shirt, and it says, crafting with passion, united by heart, together we are the Wild Heart Crafters. And that is actually my team shirt. And I put it on this morning because I thought it would give me the courage to tell you all what I had to tell you. So, anyway, thank you. And thank you everyone for the support that you have given me and shown me throughout my 10 years of being with Stampin' Up, which I'm hoping that I get another 10 years out of Stampin' Up. So, so all I can say is if you are needing anything, my shop link is in the description if you need to order anything, but please just hang around with me. And when I jump on, please just, support my YouTube channel. Give me the thumbs up and definitely comment and let me know that you're liking what I'm doing. All right, so let's pull this together and get back into this. So I'm doing the Lovely Arrangements bundle is what I'm using. That's actually what I'm using this weekend for my retreat. So I've been having a lovely time creating with this, and I used it for my Creative Card Club last week. I held my in-person class, and towards the probably early next week, I'll be getting the kits out for my Creative Card Club. We will be, I can tell you, the designs that I did for my 4 cards last week were absolutely stunning. designs that I've got for, and I'm not just saying this, it's just such a beautiful suite of products, and it's a very underestimated stamp and die set, I think. I feel like it is, when you look at this stamp and die set, you would think that it looks pretty plain and pretty basic, but wow, you can come up with some really nice stuff. So let's start. I've just got whatever cardstock and designer series paper I've got left over here. So I've got some Petal Pink, I've got some Secret Sea, and I've got some cloud cover here, and I've got some basic white thick, and this is just all my leftover designer series paper. So I'm going to be using that in this card today. So first of all, sorry, I think I need to go and get a tissue, but so first of all, I'm going to cut my card base. Now, for anyone that's asking about the measurements, I had someone that asked about the measurements on my video last week. Now, one of the things that we have been doing in our basic foundations of card making is trying to show everybody that you actually don't need to know measurements from someone's card when they're showing it, that you actually can create your own using your own card base and layer measurements. So you just need to look at the sketch and the way it's set out to be able to use your own. Excuse me, I do have to go and get a tissue, so I'll be 1 minute. So look at that card sketch and think about what, oh, my video, my camera's crooked. Think about what product you're going to be using to do the card challenge this week. Now, I'm telling everybody, people that are international, you can still enter into the card challenge. I will send you a handmade card. I would be more than happy to address a handmade card to you if you're chosen as the winner. So every week I choose the winner at the end of the video. I'll be back in 1 minute after I've gone and got a tissue. Sorry, guys, I didn't think I was going to be that much of a blubbering mess today doing that. But anyway, all right, so I've got my card base. So when you're looking at the card challenge, this outside line here, so this one here is your card base. So you make your decision of what color you're going to do your card base. So I'm just going to do my regular card base size. So whatever your regular card base size is, do that regular card base that you would normally do. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a contrast layer, because you all know that I love doing contrast layers. So I think I'm going to do a contrast layer of Petal Pink. So I'm going to do 2 of these, because I'm going to do one for the layer on the inside of my card and one for the layers on the outside of my card. So I'm going to use Petal Pink. So I'm just, now, if this is you and you are wanting to recreate this card, what you do is you do your first layer that you would normally do on your card front. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to do is create that first layer that's going to go on your card front. This one's going to be for the inside, so I'm going to get that sorted later. All right, now, you all know me. So this second layer here is going to be my Petal Pink, right? So I'm just going to say that's the Petal Pink that I'm doing. Okay, this is the white, which is our card base. Now, I'm going to add another layer. See where that stitched layer is? I'm going to actually add that as my next layer, which is going to be my designer series paper. Now, I've got to work out what designer series paper I want to use. I actually was thinking that I would like to use maybe the leaf. Could I use the leaf? Although we could use one of these. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Oh, no. Sorry, the thought process is going through my brain here. Okay, so we've got green. Oh, I could use that one. I like that. But then I feel like what I want to use on the next part. So I'm going to do that as this one here. So it's going to go with my petal pink layer, and it's going to give me a gorgeous layered look there. So let's do that. So now for this one, I would typically do my 1/8 inch smaller, so that I'm going to get a really fine border of that petal pink. Okay, so we have that. All right. Okay, so as far as we are concerned, we have done this, 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 and I've added a designer series paper layer right there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find some designer series paper that we're going to layer this piece here with. So I feel like I could do, I don't know whether you tell me what I should do. I don't know whether I should do this with some Secret C behind it, like that, or could I do this with some cloud cover behind it? So what do you think? This or this? What do you think? We've got that or we've got that. So type it into the comments and let me know, what do you think we should do for this layer? So we've got either that one there. So let me put them both there so you can see. We've either got the petal pink and Secret C, or we've got the cloud cover with the stripes. Which one do you think? Left or right? Type it into the comments and let me know which one you think I should put on there. Left or right? Maureen's telling me black. So Cynthia, my Etsy shop, hang on, and I'll grab up the code for you while people are, there is my Etsy store. It is called DG's Creative Designs. You can scan that code there on the screen, or hang on, and I'll just grab my Etsy link and I'll pop it into the comments so that you can click on the link in the comments as well. Let me go here. I'm just grabbing the link for you. Link. Okay, I'm just going to pop it into the chat box there. And there you go. There is the link of my Etsy store. I've got heaps of craft shirts over there. They're super, super fun. So if you're looking for something really, really awesome for someone for a present, yeah, they are pretty cute. Okay, so we've got petal pink, Secret C. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, everyone's saying right. That was like a total walkout. That was definitely what was on the right. All right. So now what I've got to do is I've got to work out what I think this size should be. So hang on, can I make that go? There's a way that I can make that QR code go differently. How can I do it? There's a way that I can make the QR code. Why is it not looking right? Is it like this? Let me see what that does. Nope, that didn't help. There was a way that I can, here, there we go. There we go. I can do that. So I can still get over here and craft. So you can actually see the code there and I can get over here and craft. Okay, so we've got to work out the size of this rectangle here. So what I do is I normally eyeball it. So I know what size this front layer is, okay? So I need it to sort of come, you can see here, it comes about 2/3 of the way over. So if I look at what 2/3 of the way over is, it's probably about 2 inches, okay? So we could do, I'm going to do 2 1/4 inches just to be on the safe side. And then as far as like going down here, we've got like about 1/2 inch top and bottom. So 1/2 inch top and bottom. We could take a little bit off that. So let's do 2 1/4 inches this way. And I think I'm going to take, what do we got? We've got that. See, that's going to sit there quite nicely. I think I need to take a little bit more off this to make it a little bit smaller. So what have we got? We've got, let's do that at 4 1/2. Okay. And my poor Secret C cardstock here. So 4 1/2 looks pretty good. I think that looks good. Now, of course, whatever you do this at, you then have to do, sorry, I'm going to get rid of that so that we can get back into the big screen. You then have to do this next designer series paper layer. You need to do it 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I'm just going to do that. Now I think I did it 4 1/2 was the way I did it. So let me double check. I think I did it 4 1/2. Yes, I did. So let's do this one 1/8 of an inch smaller. So we're going to do that. Now, can you see here? I didn't cut my designer series paper all the way down there. I cut it down a little bit where I thought it was going to be so that I've got all of that left. Okay, so when you're going to do something like that and you've got this big chunk of paper, try not to cut it all. Try not to cut it all the way down, because then you're restricted and you've only got this strip wide here. I mean, I've gone down a little bit further here, but then it allows me to get a bigger piece out of here if I want to get a bigger piece out of there. So, all right, so we have that ready to go on there. All right, so let's go back to our sketch again. So you can see here we have our card base done. We have our front layer done like that. We then have these two pieces done here like this. Now, we now have another piece that is going to come out over here. So I need it to be about 1/2 an inch in from here and about like 1/2 an inch in from here. So I feel like it's probably going to be about the same size again, but we need it to be a little bit bigger. So we did this one at 2 1/4, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 1/4. So let's do this one, this next layer at 2 1/2. I'm going to do it 2 1/2 inches, and I've got to do it. So I'm going to do Petal Pink again because we need to go over this again. So, oh, do I want to do Petal Pink? No, I think I want to do Secret C. Hang on, I just grabbed some more Secret C because I think it looks better with Secret C on there. Okay, here's a scrap of Secret C. Let's do another bit of Secret C. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm now going to do, let's say 2 1/2 inches. Oh, I can probably get it out of there. I'm going to go here, 2 1/2 inches. I'm going to go there because I reckon I can get it out of, I think I can get it out of that. So let's do that. So I've done 2 1/2 inches, and it needs to be shorter than this one. So this one was 4 1/2. I think I'm going to do it at 4. Let's do it at 4. Can I get 4 out of that? Yes. Let's do it at 4. So like so. All right. So it's starting to come together. Okay. So now I've got to work out what I want to put on there. I think I'm going to go back to that nice floral that we did again. I think that will look quite nice. I don't think, unless we do, hang on. I have another idea. Unless we do this. What do you think? Do you think we should do this in underneath? Actually, you know what? I think that would look quite nice. Look at that. How pretty is that? Do you think we should do that one? What are your thoughts? Oh, thank you, Stuart. Stuart said he's been able to meet some wonderful people and realize I have even more to give. I can do this. I can. And I know I can. And it just means that I had to pivot. I just had to totally pivot with what I've been doing. And Maureen saying yes. Okay, Maureen, you said yes. I'm going to go for it. You said yes, so I'm going to go for it. All right. So let's grab this. We did that at 2 1/2. So we're going to go 2 3/8 there. And I'm hoping I've got enough room the other way. 2 3/8, and we did that at 4, so we're going to be up to, I just got it out of that piece. Look what I've had to trim off there. Just got it out of that piece. That was a pretty good guess, wasn't it? All right, so we have this all starting to come together. Now, I'm actually not going to do a scallop circle like this because I don't want to get dies out. I'm not going to get some dies out to do that. So I'm going to just probably use some punches, and this is a way of being able to incorporate being able to grab things out of your stash and be able to recreate. So we've got all of these layers done, and as you know, I have added layers all the way through. So wherever I've got a rectangle, I add a contrast layer, and then I add the designer series paper. I've got a rectangle here, I add the contrast layer, then I add the designer series paper on top. So just remember when you're doing that, it's totally up to you how you want to do it, but that's actually just what I do, is to be able to come up with getting this look. All right, so I'm going to use the ribbon that goes with this as well. So for the two tags here, I'm going to use a strip of my Secret C. So I'm just going to cut a little strip, and I'm going to show you how we can do these cute little tags. So I think I want to cut the strip. Let me see what the ribbon size is. The ribbon is, let me measure how wide the ribbon is. The ribbon is 3/4 of an inch. So I think I'm going to do that at 1 inch. Let me see what 1 inch looks like. I think I'm going to do that at 1 inch as my little tag, and then have the ribbon. I'm going to cut it down to 3/4 of an inch. I think 3/4 of an inch will be all right. I was going to go with 3/4 of an inch, and then I thought, no, it's going to be too wide, but I think it will still be okay. 3/4 of an inch. I think that's going to look all right. All right, so the next thing what we're going to do is, with these little tags, we want to flag the ends. So for this one, I'm just going to cut straight up the middle with my scissors, and we're going to cut from the corner in to where I cut, and from the other corner in to where I cut. And we now have this cute little tag. Okay, now we can, if we want to, we can cut our ribbon at a diagonal like this, which is what they have done in that sketch. They've done it at a diagonal. Or you can cut it, I'm going to just cut that off, and we'll make a decision of whether we want to do the diagonal, or we can actually, with our ribbon, we can actually fold our ribbon in half. Now, the thing is, when you're going to do this, you have to cut from where you've got your fold out to the corner of your ribbon to make your ribbon do this. And I should have had better scissors than that, and then you've got a flagged end like that. Now, that's something I learned from my hairdressing days way back many, many years ago. That's actually what I learned from my hairdressing days. So we'll make the decision of which way, whether you want the flagged end of the ribbon or whether we want to go with just the diagonal end. And I don't need all that, so I'm going to cut that off as well. Okay, so we've got those. We'll make that decision when we get to that point. Now what we want to do is we want to cut our circles. So I'm actually going to cut a circle out of our, I think I'm going to cut a circle out of my Petal Pink. And I'm going to cut the circle up in here, because if I want to use this as a layer, whenever you're cutting things like that, always cut right up in there and leave a border all the way around, because if you want to cut a card front layer that you're going to put designer series paper over, it doesn't matter that we've got that circle cut out. So always remember that whenever you're doing anything with a punch or anything like that, cut up into that middle part of that rectangle, so that if you want to use that as a layer, you can actually use it as a layer. So I've got that happening. So this is my 2 3/8 of an inch punch, and I think 2 1/4. Now I feel like, I don't know whether I want to do the the floral look on this circle, because we're going to put flowers around here. So it might take it too much off. We might actually just do it white. What do you think? We could do it white and stamp a sentiment in there. I think that could possibly be the way. So let's grab some white cardstock and we'll start doing that. I need to cut some white for my inserts anyway. So let's grab a sheet of white. Hey, Joy, lovely to see you. All right, so let's grab a sheet of white. Now I need to cut my my layers for my insert, so I'm going to do that. And of course, for my insert, I like to go an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I've already done the petal pink layer, so I'm going an 1/8 of an inch smaller than my petal pink layer to allow me to have that. And then I've got this scrap that I can do my stamping and cut my, so I've got that. I'm going to pop that on the inside, ready to go. I've got this here that I can do a sentiment on, and I want to stamp some flowers as well. So in this set, we've got a larger flower and we've got like a half flower, and the half flower sits in behind the larger flower really, really well. So let's grab out our flowers and might grab some leaves as well. All right, so we've got, and these are well-loved stamps already. Like as I said, I love this set. I think it's a gorgeous set. So we've got our leaves, we've got our flower, and I might actually just do the flower on the other side of that. Oh no, I've got a small, yep, I've got a small enough block here, I think. Yeah, that's good. Okay. You always should try and use the smallest blocks you can for your flowers and things, so that, I mean, I wouldn't typically normally use this as a block. I would normally typically probably use that. I might actually just put it on the back. Look at that. We can do that because it doesn't matter. I don't have to see where I'm stamping. The smaller the block, as long as your stamp fits on it, the better. Less chance of rocking it and getting halos and things that you don't want. All right, I'm actually going to stamp the flower in Secret Sea. So I'm going to stamp one of the large ones. So we're going to stamp one large one. We're going to stamp one of the half flowers. I'm going to stamp the leaves. Whoops. And I've just left the leaves sitting on my bench. They stuck to my bench. Okay. I'm going to do the leaves in Secret Sea. I've got one there, and I'm going to do, and my leaves, can you see what happens with my leaves? When you ink up too much, and I don't have a stamp cleaner in here, but when you ink up, I don't know what's going on with my leaves, but when I ink them up too much, it's like the stamp is not, it's not high enough or chunky enough. I don't know, but sometimes you get that little bit in the middle, and I don't like that. So let me see if I can do that again. It's from pressing hard and my ink being quite juicy. So I'm going to hopefully get that one. That one looks a bit better. So I might end up using that one and that one. Anyway, so we're going to do that. Then I think I'm going to punch a 2 1/4 inch circle. So let's do that. I've got enough room here. 2 1/4 inch circle to go on there. Okay. Let's bring in our cut and emboss machine, and we will cut out those flowers. Welcome everyone that is jumping in. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me today. All right. So we have matching dies that will go with our flowers. So we've got our flower dies and we've got the leaf die. And I could quite possibly, seeing as we have some petal pink here, let's do some of these cute leaves. So we've got some just leaves that have some embossing on them as well. And they're just really cute to add to these designs, just to add a little bit more color and things in your design. All right, so let's get our leaf on there, and we're going to have to hold our breath and make sure that my dies don't move when I go to do this. Let me get this up here further. So typically, most people will probably use washi tape or something to hold their dies in place. I just pop them on there and hold my breath and hope for the best. I'm just trying to find where they've got to be. That way. There we go. Okay. So sorry, I'm off the screen doing that. So just keep rotating your dies. I know someone said on my video, I think it was last week, that I can't cut that one because it's too close to that one, that they mark their dies with a marking pen and mark their stamp with a marking pen. And that's a really great idea. If you struggle with trying to line them up, it's a really great idea to mark them with the marking pen. And that way, then every time you go to cut them out, you'll be able to, you'll stamp them the same way as your dies are going to cut them out, so that you can easily line them up. All right, so let's do that. I'm probably going to do, on the second round, I'm probably going to do some more of those petal pink leaves. So we have our large flower cut out. We have one set of leaves cut out. Let's cut the next set of leaves out. So we'll do that. We'll cut our smaller flower this time because it's not too close to that big flower this time. And we'll grab our petal pink and we will add those smaller leaves again on there. What is going on here? It was going down in a groove in my die cutting machine. Let me just grab a take your pick tool to try. Oh, I can't find the take your pick. Scissors will do. Just going to pop out those leaves. Come out. These leaves don't want to come out. There we go. I have used this die set so many times. Also, too, when you are starting to struggle with your dies coming out of the die, like this one here, how it's really sticking in the die, if you've got a candle, like an old a birthday candle, like a wax birthday candle, just rub the candle in your die. Like, get a little bit of that wax in your die, and I can tell you it definitely helps with releasing the cardstock out of your die the next time. Let's do that. Oh, I've got the shakes this morning. All right. We're just going to go with that. All right. Kim said, have you thought about buy me a coffee thing? Thank you, Kim. I do have that. I do have that. So, oh, thank you, Gina. That is so lovely. Thank you. I do have the buy me a coffee thing. Where is it? Support this stream. Here you go. Support the stream. So if anyone wants to help me out, you can always support the stream, because I know that a lot of people that are overseas say, but I'd love to help you, but I can't because I can't buy anything from you. So you can actually do that. And thank you so much. Gina has just done that. That is awesome. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. Thank you so much. Every little bit helps, people. And when I was listening to this YouTuber yesterday that I watch, yeah, it just, I don't know, it makes you feel okay that you're not the only person going through it. But thank you for the tip with the candle grease on the sticky die. Yeah, it's great. Because like it allows them, it releases them a lot easier. So you don't struggle with them getting stuck in that die. Now I've just cut that leaf really, really crooked, but you know, let's just cut that one out that I mucked up as a spare. We might be able to put the one that I cut crooked out. Now, don't ever throw your dies out. Your die cuts. I mean, not your dies. I know no one will throw their dies out, but don't ever throw your die cuts out, because you can always hide things in underneath, and you can always disguise things. You can always trim a little bit of that extra white off, which I'll probably do with that leaf anyway. I can trim a little bit of that extra white off, but don't throw them out. They're not a waste. Like, you physically can use them. So let's put that out of the way. All right, let me grab my dies and pop them all back into my case so I don't lose them. Oh, just lost a little flower there. Okay. I don't know where I've put my take your pick tool. There we go. All right, so I've got all those done. So let's pop those all back in now. I'm just going to sit them in there, close it up. Okay, so we can start to get this to happen. So this one here, this is what I would typically do with this one. You can run the die back through and cut a bit more off, but you know what? I'm just going to fussy cut around here and cut a bit of that extra white off that's in there. And no one would ever know that that's what you did. Look at that. No one would ever know. And I'm just going to cut a little bit off in here. And this is typically what I do if I muck up on a die like that, and it's still usable. A lot of people would throw it in the garbage and say, oh, I mucked that one up, I'll throw that away. I don't throw them away. Like, you can use them. And I know that people will probably say, I actually wanted to say this too. I know that people will say when they see me go on my incentive trip, like, she said she was struggling and now she's going on the incentive trip. And I just want to put it out there. I tossed and turned about the idea of whether I was going to go on my incentive trip or not. And the reason that I decided that I would go on the incentive trip is that if it's the last one that I ever earn, I want to see my friends. I want to see all of my friends, because if this is the last time that I'm going to travel overseas and see all of my friends, then I was going to do it come hell or high water. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go. So I actually said to my daughter, what are credit cards for? I'm just going to book it up on credit card and I'm going to go. And I know that everyone says, but don't you get the trip given to you? Well, we don't get the trip given to us. We earn the trip. And I need to put it out there that 0.1% of demonstrators achieve those high levels. And yes, I did achieve those high levels last year, but this year it's a totally different story. And I thought, if this is the last time I get to go, then I will enjoy it. Yeah, so that is why I decided to go. So I've actually booked up a $3,500 debt on my credit card to go. So to be able to see my friends. So, all right. I'm going to, now all I'm doing is adhering all of these pieces together. Oh, and I'm going to get a new glue. That drives me insane when they're like that. Let me grab a new glue. Yeah, exactly, Gina. And that was my thoughts. You know, I worked hard to earn the trip. So, and I sat there and I said to my daughter the night before I registered for it, do I go or do I not go? And she said, Mum, I'll be okay. If you decide not to go and cash out, I'll be okay. We'll just do it. It's up to you. And I said, you know what? I'm in two minds, because if I cash out and that is the last one that I do, then I won't get to see my friends. So, so I decided that I was going to go on the trip no matter what. And now that I've got this job, I will be able to pay off what I've put on my credit card. So that's my thought process. So the main issue that I had was trying to pay my home loan. That was my main issue, and that was why I decided to go out and do something. It would be different if I owned my own home, which I did. At one stage, I owned my own home. Before I got divorced, we owned our own home outright. I should have been sitting pretty. And I've gone through all of those emotions of being really angry, like I'm now in this position and I shouldn't have to be in this position. Had my life not been mapped out the way it was, but you know, you can't say should have, could have, if only, because it doesn't change the fact. The fact is, it is the way it is. All right, so you can see this starting to come together. I'm still crooked here. starting to come together. Now, I've got to work out whether I want to, so we've got our flowers that we can pop around here. So that I've got to cut those shorter because they obviously can go shorter. So we've got our flowers that we can pop around here. We've got our leaves that are going to go in behind and here. And we may end up with this one down in here as well, which that looks quite nice. Okay, so this is my dry run. Okay, so you can see here there's not much of my circle left there, but I think what I might do is maybe with the sentiments, let's see what we've got. I think I'm just going to do thank you. I think I'm just going to actually do thank you on a strip and pop it up, I think. So maybe a strip of, will thank you fit on this strip that I have left over? I think it might. Let me see. All right. Let me grab our thank you and we'll see if that strip will be big enough to fit it on. I think it will. Okay, and I'm going to do that in Secrecy. Oh, Sheila, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's lovely words. All right, so let's do our thank you right there. There we go. Okay, so we've got our thank you. All right, I need to cut these down. Now, what's the thought process on, I'm going to cut that at an angle like that for the front. What's your thought process on our ribbon here? Are we going to use the flagged ribbon or the angle ribbon? Type it into the comments and let me know. Flagged ribbon or angle ribbon? Oh, thank you, Kathy. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. Hopefully I can keep bringing you my inspiration. So, all right. Angled. Okay, so Maureen said angled. Deborah says flagged. Okay, we've got angled. Oh God, they're coming in quick now. Angled, flagged, angled, flag, angled, angled, flagged, flagged, flagged. Guess what? Flagged ribbon got it. Flagged ribbon got it. In the end, flagged ribbon got it. So let's pull that off. Let's get rid of that angled one. I need to cut that smaller because it doesn't need to be that big. And I think I need to cut that one smaller too because that doesn't need to be that big either. Oh, those scissors are hopeless. Let's try these ones. Oh, they're just as bad. I don't know where all my good scissors have gone. Okay, so we've got that, and that. All right, let's start assembling this now. So let's pop this one. I'm going to put it straight down onto my card base for the simple fact that I'm going to probably pop up these circles and flowers and things. So I'm just going to pop that straight down onto there. Okay. All right, we've got that. And then I think I'm going to glue all of these directly straight down, and then I can pop up my circles and my flowers. So let's pop this one. So that's the one that comes over here. So we've got that. Even spacing top and bottom. Let's add this one. How fun are these sketch challenges? Like I'm loving doing this. Like I'm loving helping you sort out how to go with it, but I'm actually loving doing them. Like I love the fact that it gives us all of these ideas that we can easily put together. So now I'm just going to add that white circle. I'm not actually going to put anything on that white circle. I want to keep it nice and clear, because I will then be able to pop up our sentiment, and it will actually show our sentiment. It'll give like a landing place for our sentiment to be on. So let's add some dimensionals on here. You know, I often think when people say, you know, I've got to cut back on things, so I'm going to cut back on my crafting. I don't know about you guys, but I could not imagine my life without crafting in it. Could you imagine your life without craft? I mean, I just can't imagine what it would be like. I really can't. I've been crafting for many, many years. And even before I started with Stampin' Up, I was a crafter through and through. Like, I did knitting and sewing, and I did so many different types of craft. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of Seal Plus on the back of these, because I want to pop that one about there. And then the ribbon, I'm going to add a little bit of Seal Plus just directly on my layer there. And then I'm going to pop that ribbon down in there. Okay. Now, our circle goes over the top, and my circle, that's crooked, but we'll pop it there like that. All good. Like so. And then we will now start with our flowers. I'm actually going to pop my flowers up on this layer that's already popped up. So I'm going to pop them up once there, but I'm going to double pop them up down here. Let me see if I can. I'm going to have to use my black ones here, because I've got black ones here in my drawer and no white ones, but forgive me for doing this, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add a double dimensional here. So there. And then I'm going to add a single dimensional on this part of my flower. Now, I would not normally use black ones the way I am. Oh, no worries, Sheila. Lovely. Thank you for coming and hanging out for a little while. It was awesome. Thank you. All right, so we've got that. Now this one here, I'm gonna pop up as well. So I'm just gonna add some dimensionals just to the middle here, because it's gonna overhang here, and I don't really, the little bit that it's going to overhang, I don't really need to put a dimensional on, so it'll be all right. I'm just going to add that like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a dimensional under the leaf of here, and I need to do it double because it will be hanging off here, so I need to do it double. So we're going to double up our dimensionals right there. You think it's going to be pretty, Vicky? Thank you. And I'm going to add some glue on, and I've got the empty glue that I was going to throw away, but is it? Yes, because that's my new one I opened. All right, so I'm going to add that in under here. And of course, that leaf is going to sit up because I've done the double dimensionals there. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to add a double dimensional on that center leaf. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Deborah's saying that she's loving it. Sheila. See, Sheila just said, I will never cut down my craft. It's my go-to place. I can lose myself in it and forget the rest of what is going on in the world. And I agree with that, Sheila. Amen. I totally agree with that, because it has been my savior many, many times. I can tell you, when life is throwing your lemons, get out in that craft room and escape, and yeah, totally forget about all what's going on. I agree. All right, so we've got that. I think I might just glue that one. I'm gonna glue this one straight down just to add a little bit more real life, like, dimension that we've got. Different levels happening in this card, which is cute. So let's do that. All right, it is looking quite nice, I must say. Now I've got these leaves that I've cut, and this just adds that special touch. When you are doing cards like this, just adding that contrasted leaf in makes such a difference. It really does. So don't skimp on doing something like this, because I can tell you it just creates that little bit extra. Look at it when you actually pop those petal pink leaves in. Doesn't it just finish it off? Wow. Got something making a big noise on my computer. Not quite sure. Oh, something about an upgrade on my computer. All right, let's pop another one of those in there. And I had another one here. Where did it go there? I think I'm just going to pop another little one popping out there. Okay, like that, just to add that. All right, and then of course, like our thank you is going to sit in here. How cute is that? Do I want to sit the thank you over the top or under? Tell me what you think. Over the top or under? Do we go over the flowers, or do we sort of try to nestle it in under? What's your thoughts? So type it into the comments, over or under. I'm just going to find my embellishments while we do that, which I have here. I've got the embellishments that go with this. Yes, Margaret, I know. And you know, Margaret, that's when I met you, wasn't it? Like I physically think that's when I met you. Okay, so we've got under. We've got 2 for under, 1 for over. Hey, Margie, I didn't know you were on there. Lovely to see you. So we've got 3 for under. We've got 4 for under. Oh, under it is. Everyone's saying under. So we're going to go with under. All right, so let's go like that. And I have to place it in here under enough that we can read that sentiment, that it's not going to get cut off by the flowers. And I've sort of straddled it in between my ribbon and my flag there. And I've got it crooked, so let's straighten it up. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have that. All right. Now, as far as embellishments, do we go the Secret Sea? Do we go white? Tell me which ones, Secret Sea or white. Let me know which ones you think. Secret Sea or white. Type it in the comments, and the one that gets to number 5 first is the one that wins. What have we got? So was that 10 years ago, Margaret? Because I'm nearly positive I met you, Margaret, when I first started with Stampin' Up. Secret Sea, 8 years ago. Okay, yep. I was going to say it's around that timing, because I mean it'll be 10 years for me with Stampin' Up at the end of July this year. Will be 10 years. So unfortunately, I won't be celebrating at on stage my 10 years because I'm still only 9. I think that's how it is. Okay, so we've got Secret Sea, white, Secret Sea, Secret Sea, Secret Sea, white, Secret Sea, white, white, white. White ended up getting it in the end. Okay, so white got it. All right, so let's pop some of these on here. So now I don't normally use my scissors when it comes to embellishments like this, but these ones are super, super sticky. So I have been using my scissor tips to get them off, because they have been, so can you see how sticky they are? They're super sticky, which is good because we know at least they're not going to be coming off our projects, but super hard to get off. All right, there, 1, 2, 3, 4, need another one, which I could possibly put another one down here. Let's go there. Okay, so we've got that. Now, I am still going to do more because I've still got to do my insert. See, I just don't want to, I don't want to stop hanging out with you guys. I'm going to do, I think I want to do a strip of this on the inside. So let's just grab our paper trimmer. And we'll just do a little, just a 1/2 inch strip for the inside. Everything's going everywhere. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, and I need to cut it the other way too. And I need to put a new blade in my trimmer because it's not, I'm going to go right across with this one. It's not cutting real well. I need to either clean out my track or put a new blade in it, that's for sure. All right, so let's do that. Now, I want something on the inside too. So I'm going to stamp, I think, the large flower. Let's do that. And then I'm just going to color these flowers a little bit too. So we've got that. My Secret C. I'm going to add a flower in that corner. So just like that. Then I'm going to pop this over here. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do a leaf. I'm just going to do the flower. That's it. All right, now I want to show you something that I love to do with my Wink of Stella. And when I've got lined images like this for my flowers, so I'm going to pop my little block into my Secret C. I'm then going to pick up some of that Secret C with my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to flick out from the center of my flower, adding a few lines to add a bit of coloring to my flower. And don't be scared to like pick it up and get some of those nice streaky pieces coming out. And then I'm just going to pick up a little bit and go on the in the middle, just to fill in that middle. Okay, and you can see we've got a little bit of color happening in that flower. So we've got that. Let's do a couple of these. So I'm just going to, once again, just with my, and don't be, as I said, don't be scared. I'm actually pushing quite well on that Wink of Stella to get these streaky pieces to come out. Like, so, and it takes practice. A lot of people say, I can't get mine to look like yours. It physically takes practice. So just keep trying. Like, honestly, just keep trying. So all I'm doing is I'm doing those streaky pieces first, and then I'll go back in and do the center and add the color in the center. But I'm just dragging it out, picking up a little bit of that color, dragging it out. And I'm going to do a little bit on these. Whoops, and that one was a bit too heavy-handed, but it's okay. I'll blend it in the middle. So just a couple of little streaks to add some color. If you stamp these and you're quick enough with your Wink of Stella will probably move the color anyway. But if you're not quite quick enough, then this way with the Wink of Stella and picking it up is definitely the way to go. And so then when I do the middle, I'm just picking up and I'm going from the middle and working my way out just to blend it out, because wherever you start with the Wink of Stella, it's going to be the strongest color once you've picked it up. So, so I'm just going around in circular motions, and we have some color on and then just with a scrap piece of paper, run your Wink of Stella on that scrap bit of paper, and that will clean the bristles of your Wink of Stella. But remember, definitely clean your Wink of Stella after you've finished. Oh, thank you, Jill. All right, so we have that. And I'm just going to pop that along the bottom there. Oh, and I forgot. I should have had it on my petal pink first. Now, whenever you're going to do your Wink of Stella, you will get that coming through the back. So don't do it if you're doing it straight directly onto your cardstock. Make sure you're putting a layer in behind. So that's for our insert of our card. How pretty is that? All right, there. All right, so we've got that. Then I'm going to add that to the inside of my card. And obviously I've got some ink on my fingers because I just put ink on that. And once we have got that on the inside, you can see there I just put ink on it, but I have a mono eraser. Let me see if I can erase that. So when you get ink on your card like this, if you have one of these mono erasers, it's called a mono sand eraser. It is so good that if you get an inky bit on your card, and look at that, it's gone. Bam, totally gone. All right, there you go. That is my card challenge for this week. And then we've got to draw our winner, remember? So let's put in the sketch challenge here. That was our sketch challenge. And that is how my card has turned out. So as you can see, just going from that challenge and working your way in from the base layer right down into the center, you can easily work from a sketch and be able to recreate that card. So there is my card, and we are now going to draw the winner of last week's challenge. So are you ready? Who was in last week's challenge? Linda, you're still on here, so I know you were. Christine, are you still here? Oh, Annette's here. Annette's here, so that's awesome. A couple of you that are in the draw are on here, so we will see if you're going to be the winner. All right, let's draw the winner. So I've got everyone's names in here that went into the challenge, and who is the winner? Linda Christian, you are the winner. And I have out, I got it out this morning, what I was going to give away. Where did I put it now? Oh, there it is. Okay. You are the lucky winner, and I have your address, Linda. So you are the lucky winner of the beautiful patterned embossing folder. So congratulations and thank you very much. So we are going to be doing, Linda's card was gorgeous. Do you want to see the cards? Do you want me to share my screen and show you the cards? I think I've worked out how to share the screen works. I think I have. So let's see if I can get it right. Let me get into my Facebook business page so I can show you who joined the challenge and what lovely designs we had. So let me go there. Let me go, show me my page. There we go. And show me the challenge, which was here, and the comments. Let me see the comments. There we go. Okay, so let's see if I can share this. I think I've worked out how the share works because it was pretty freaky and crazy the other day. Let me go window and share. Okay, let me go like that. Can you tell me if you can see that now? Because if I change back to see you guys, I can't see it. So let me see if I can, tell me if you can see that. I'm hoping you can see that. Hang on, I'll come back here so I can just see the comments. Can you see that when I click on that tab? Can you tell me that you've seen it when I clicked on the tab? Instead of this horrible, crazy vortex looking thing, could you see the tab when I clicked on that tab? I'm trying to see if I can. Yes, you can. Okay. All right. So it does work. All right. So these were the cards from this week's challenge. Let me see all comments. Okay. Christine's card. There we go. That was Christine's gorgeous card. How awesome was that card? So Christine entered. Tracy Lee. This was Tracy Lee's entry. So different size here. So see, we don't have to do the same size. This was a totally different size. Changed it up a little bit, but still had the torn DSP, still had the tag, using that gorgeous lemon paper. So that was cute. We have Colleen Casey. This was hers. How gorgeous is that? And you can see here, Colleen has done some blending with her flowers. So how gorgeous are those flowers with the blending brush? Being able to get that look, which is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so that was Colleen's entry. This was Annette's entry, which was absolutely stunning. Look at that. That's one of my favorite sets as well. Look at the embossing in the background. Absolutely such a really, really cute card. Thank you, Annette, for your card. That was awesome. Linda's card, this is the winning card. So this was Linda's, and she has done what I did with my stitching. So Linda has drawn her stitching on, which I said if you didn't have the stitching, that's what you could do. So awesome. She's got the torn bit of Designer Series paper. And she's used that gorgeous washi tape as well, like with the flowers. How pretty is that? So you can incorporate anything that you have in your craft stash. And this was Margaret's card. Okay, so, and Margaret said she wasn't happy with her card. No, Margaret, I think you're too hard on yourself. That card is gorgeous. Like, I think you should be very proud of that card. Absolutely stunning. So, thank you very much to everyone that entered. So we had some great entries there. So as I said, we now have this entry. I will try and pop it up. If I don't get it up before I head off to work, I will try and get it up tonight. So if it's not on my business page, what I suggest right now is go and do your card. Like, go and do your card from this sketch challenge. Go and create your card. Get your challenge in. I will create the event, and all you've got to do is in the comments, I will post my picture in the comments, and all you've got to do is in the comments of the event, post your picture. So we all need to post in the one thing. We all need to, so if you see where mine is posted, just comment below mine and keep going in the comments there, because that is where I go and find the entries for next week to draw the lucky winner. So there will be a lucky winner again next week. So make sure you get into a craft room, make sure you craft, and thank you everyone for the kind words. Thank you everyone for supporting my Stampin' Up! Business, and please be patient with me, and I will try and be live and do videos as much as I possibly can. This week is going to show me what I'm going to be able to do. Well, I suppose in the next couple of weeks, show me what I can do with working and trying to do Stampin' Up! At the same time. But there's many out there that have done it, so I'm sure I can do it as well. So thank you everyone, and I will see you all again soon. Have a great day.